Welcome to another Flower Power Live. Tonight is a very special flower power, because this is the 1 year anniversary of Flower Power. It was the Monday before Thanksgiving, I believe, in 2020 that it decided to start a weekly show, calling it Flower Power. And let me tell you, some of those early shows were just a little ugly. So, but I've made it a whole year now, and I've been really enjoying this. And thank you so much to everyone out there for continuing to support me on my Flower Power, and hopefully also on your Flower Power journey. So my name's Allison from The Well Cultivated Life, and I'm so glad you've been here. A special shout out to my sister who watches all my shows. It's good to have sisters like that. So this week I'm continuing my series of the common culinary herbs that people don't really think of as being healthful or medicinal in any way. And so this week's herb is thyme. And thyme is Thymus or thyme. See, it's thyme, but it's Thymus is the botanical name, and it's confusing. Thymus vulgaris. And this is another plant that is native to the Mediterranean region. It's a member of the mint family, like so many of these other really potent aromatic herbs that we love so much. Now, thyme has a history of use in ancient cultures and throughout the Middle Ages, as well as a plant that was thought to bestow courage upon whoever were to receive it or wear it or use it. And so it was used in the baths and also burned as incense in temples in ancient Greece. And it was also given to warriors or knights going into battle during the Middle Ages. It was also used as protection, and it was thought to help to bring out poisons as an antidote for poisons. And so it was used in the posies that a lot of people would wear during the Black Plague in Europe. And that was actually pretty smart of them, because as we will see later, thyme has a lot of antiseptic type of properties. Now, horticulturally, there's many different varieties of thyme that you can use in your landscaping. German thyme, lemon thyme, caraway thyme. There's your common garden thyme, and they all usually grow to about a 12-inch height, and they'll have either white or pink or purple little flowers on the very tips of the branches. This is some thyme that I got. This is not a blooming thyme, but this is thyme that I got just from the grocery store. Things aren't looking so good out in my garden this time of year, and so you can see it's got these just teeny little leaves on it. And then don't let those little leaves fool you, though. It's a very powerful punch. So, and then the flowers are just on the tips, and they're quite beautiful. So there are also some varieties of thyme that are really low growing, creeping thyme or woolly thyme, and those can be used even planted in between stepping stones in your patio or a pathway or in a rock wall, and they look really nice like that. One great way that I like to use thyme, I have lemon thyme growing in my garden, and you can take lemon thyme with lemon balm and lemon verbena, and you can create use that in your cooking if you want a super lemony flavor with herbs, plus the more savory type of flavor to go with it as well. So that makes a great combination. Now, if you're going to be using thyme in your kitchen, you can always go out and just get some at the grocery store like this, fresh. And if you do decide to buy dried thyme, I know at the grocery store they have lots, the rack with all the herbs and spices and stuff, but it's usually better off to try to go to a local herb store if you can and get it fresh in bulk. And make sure that you're buying the thyme that it's called cut and sifted usually, and it's like the pieces of the little leaves that have been stripped off the branches. You don't usually want to unless you have a real specific need. You don't want to get the powdered thyme or any other herb for that matter, because at that point it's been crushed up so much that it's going to lose its potency a lot faster. So I definitely recommend trying to get it as whole as possible. Now, medicinally, there's a wild thyme called Thymus capitatus, And that has the most potent medicine. This is the variety that's native to the Mediterranean area. But depending on where you live, it may not be hardy in your area. And so you can just use whatever culinary thyme you happen to have. Now, it's best known for its antiseptic properties. It's also good for upper respiratory infections and anywhere where there's kind of like stuckness in the body. And one of the best and most delicious ways to use thyme is to create a like a syrup or an infused honey. Now, the different ways of creating medicinal products, I guess you could say, for use in your own kitchen. Each type of extract is going to take something different, like an alcohol extract versus a vinegar extract is going to get out more minerals versus a honey extract, which is kind of more like a water-based type of extract or a tea. So there are a lot of volatile oils and phenolic compounds in thyme. And so what I like to do with thyme is to make multiple different types of extracts. Like I'll do an infused honey. I'll also make a vinegar, and then I'll also make a definitely a regular alcohol extract. Now, if I have the flowers, I might make the honey out of that and just make this out of, just use the regular thyme for an alcohol extract. So then what you can do is you can blend those together into what I like to call just an elixir. So there's different types of things you can make. You can put the honey and the vinegar together. You can put the alcohol and the honey base together. You can create a syrup just by boiling and adding sugar or honey to that. And then that way you can mix and match with whatever need you have at the time, because, well, my most recent one I made elderberry, thyme, and fennel. Fennel is very good for sort of phlegm and just those mucous membranes and things. And but I generally recommend to make things separately. And again, you can put them together the way you want when you need them. Now, in thyme, these potent constituents are really, really good for coughs and bronchitis because they have antispasmodic properties. They also have this kind of like antibacterial property as well. And they can help as an expectorant, so that what thyme does is it kind of thins down the mucus and helps when you're coughing, you're trying to get something out, right? So this just helps it to come out easier. Now, that's part of the power of thyme, is it helps to kind of draw out a lot of these deep-seated things in our bodies. Now, I don't talk about essential oils a whole lot, but thyme essential oil is very useful. It is very potent. And in general, essential oils should not be put on the body or taken internally on their own. They should always be diluted. And if you're going to be starting working with some of these super powerful oils like thyme, and oregano is especially potentially a dangerous oil to work with, you really should be working with like a professional aromatherapist or an herbalist who is experienced in that area. But thyme essential oil is wonderful if you want to make like a homemade cleaning spray. And you can also put it in a diffuser for like a winter wellness blend. And in fact, if you've ever bought like an all natural wipe, you got the Clorox wipes. If you buy I think it's 7th generation brand, that is actually thyme oil that they're using in there for the disinfectant effect. Now, finally, I wanted to share with you this kind of cool Matt Woods, my book that I love, Earthwise Herbal. He talks about another herbalist, Matthew Becker, who has developed a constitutional profile for thyme. Now, constitutional profile just means like what is the kind of tendency of this person's kind of their personality they're having, like what kind of person are they? And so he says that it's suited to people with deep unconscious issues that disturb their sleep. The mind may be preoccupied, but the problems come up from below consciousness. This fits the physical profile for thyme because it's a remedy for removing toxins and closed passageways deep in the body. So most of the time, people don't even realize that they have a lot of this stuff kind of stuck in their subconscious. So I thought that was just really interesting. If you're that type of person that can't sleep and you don't really know why, you might consider taking some time for yourself before bed. Now, this relates to the flower essences, which kind of works from the inside out. It kind of helps to speed up healing and increases your strength and your sort of like your adaptability. And according to Great Lakes Essences, it offers an archetype of health and transformation. It calms while helping one gather strength for action. Okay, so think about the archetype of the warrior getting ready to go to battle. You know, a warrior that's freaking out is going to use up all their energy, whereas if you're remaining calm and gaining your own strength, think about the ancient message about time being for courage, and you can definitely draw forth a lot more courage from a place of strength and health and healing than you can from just like sheer willpower, right? So I love that comparison. Now, Daughter of Wands, who is an astro herbalist and flower essence crafter, love that title, says that time calls on your inner Mars forces, your like strong kind of masculine forces, to bolster courage and strength. It helps you eliminate fear in dark times and helps you to find your inner resolve and resources so you can problem solve with quiet confidence. Again, this is kind of like coming from this place of inner calm and inner strength to be able to have the courage to do what you need to do. And that applies to all aspects of our life, I feel as well, not just going into battle. I hope you don't look at your life like going into battle. So for today, I'm using two different oracle cards. The first one is from the Herbcrafters Tarot, which I haven't used in a while. Have I? I might have. Anyway, I love this. I love this deck because the cards are so beautiful. And this shows a picture of this woman in the kitchen, and she's got all kinds of stuff going on, and she's got thyme all over the table and these different herbs drying in the background. She's got her potions and her brews books there on the table, and she's grinding things up in a mortar and pestle. And this is the Madre of Fire. Now, the Madre cards represent different herbs that are like easy to grow and commonly used and nourishing and things, properties that are really important for deep inside the body. And then the fire cards are all about them making medicines and about getting messy in the kitchen, you know, and becoming an alchemist and being creative. So there's the second card is from this new deck that my sister gave me called the Green Witch Oracle deck. And I love this deck because it has focused on 4 different groups of plants, and they relate to the 4 different elements. So the first one is vegetables that are earth, herbs that relate to fire, if you think about like the fiery flavor of herbs, fruits that relate to water, and then flowers that relate to air. And so thyme is a fire element because it's an herb. And what she has on the card relates also to courage. It says, have faith in your own abilities and take steps and leaps forward with confidence. You can do this, and you should, as the energies of time are not only showing positivity, but also a little mystical assistance afforded to you. If you were seeking an answer, now is the time to find it. Okay, now is the time to act. And so these 2 cards together, you know, the Madre of Fire is telling us, you know, crank up your creativity, you know, whatever inspires you, just teach it, get out there and do it, and gather the strength and courage to go out and do what you love to do, what you want to do. And at the same time, it's also relating to, you know what, sometimes we have these paradoxes in life, and not everything is always balanced out. So there will be times that we need to go deep, clear out these toxins that accumulate, and thyme, of course, is a wonderful remedy for that. And this made me really think about, just recently I was reading a blog about Ayurvedic, and they were talking about the Ayurvedic term called ama. And ama is these little bits of and pieces of undigestible, kind of like unusable food that we don't really digest very well. And they kind of sit around and get stagnant inside, because especially as we get older and our sort of digestive fire doesn't work so well, it's not able to like burn up all of the food as efficiently. And so I was really thinking about this in relation to what we're talking about here, about like, you know, going inside and healing from the inside out, because this refers to, of course, the ama refers to like the physical food and so on. But I think we all really have ama in different aspects of our like threefold human that we are. So we've all got little bits of undigestible stuff, not only our food, we've got it in our mind and we've got it in our emotions as well. And so what we need to get rid of these things is really what time has to offer. We need to clear things out. We need some strength. We need some courage. And what better time for time than now? Sorry, I had to say that. In the present moment. So head to the store or the garden if plants are still growing well where you live. Get some honey, infuse some time in that. And simply, you just put the thing in the honey and stir it every day, okay? You can create a vinegar, you can create an extract, make yourself some elixirs and get yourself ready for the winter ahead and help get yourself some inner strength and courage. Now, that's our message from Time tonight. But I want you to know that if you really are interested in learning a little bit more about making these types of herbal creations, I am going to be offering a challenge along with a workshop series coming up at the end of November. And it's oriented towards holiday herb, you know, using herbs in your sort of your holiday gifting and your other aspects of the holiday. But the principles I'll be teaching are applicable any time of year. So keep an eye out for that. I'll be posting the link shortly. And once the whole sign up page and everything is ready, and it starts November 30th. So until then, follow me on Instagram at Cultivate My Life and have a great night. Take care, everybody.